Hi, I'm Dr. Maximilian Zard at the Healthy Issue Chiropractic Center. Today we're going to be talking about PVC stretches. Now, a lot of times we can stretch just using our own body as a mechanism, but it's always nice to bring in a prop every now and then for the stretching. I find that for myself, the PVC pipe actually allows me to get a little better stretch. Now at home, you can use a broom, you can use a hockey stick. I've heard a lot of different things used. Even if you want to go out to your Home Depot or your Lowe's and get some sort of PVC pipe like this, they're always really affordable. So we kind of start with some easy stuff. One of the first things we do, we want to make sure that you can get the PVC pipe comfortably onto your shoulders. If you have some sort of shoulder issue or rotator cuff issue, this may not be the case. You may not be able to get that comfortably on there. If that's the case, then you might want to refrain from this type of stretching. Now, one of the first things we recommend for a patient when they have this shoulder, the PVC pipe shouldered, what they're going to do is they're going to do an exercise called a good morning. And with a good morning, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set your hips back and then drop your torso down while trying to keep your chest forward as long as you can until you feel a good stretch in the hamstrings. We don't want to bend the knees necessarily. We want to keep them about as straight as we can. And then after you reach that point, you just curl back up and move the hips forwards. So a lot of the movement should be taking place in the pelvis and hips. So a lot less should be happening in the back. If you were performing this exercise wrong, what it might look like is it might look like this, where the back arches and then the back comes up. Rather, it should look like this. Okay, and you can see I don't have wonderful hamstring mobility, so you see I don't go down necessarily too far. A lot of times women will be able to get a great stretch out of this too, but it's a wonderful exercise. Now, with the PVC pipe still shouldered, we want to do some other stretches with that. So, one simple one is just a lateral bend. So we just bend to one side, and then we bend to the other. Now, when we stretch like this, I always like to come back to neutral. So what I don't want to see a patient do is stretch and then teeter back and forth, like you're on a teeter-totter. And rather, I'd like to see you come down into that stretch, hold it nicely, come back to neutral, and then stretch the other way. And then back to neutral. Now, try to keep that one as one-dimensional as possible as far as the movement goes. What I don't want to see happening is a lot of rotation with that, because our next exercise is an actual rotation. Sometimes this exercise is called a windmill, sometimes it's called golfer's stretch, because you'll see golfers take their driver and throw it on their shoulder and do this exercise. And what you're basically going to do is you're going to stretch forwards, and you're going to bring your right hand towards your left foot. So you're going to get a nice rotation out of it. Then you're going to come back to neutral, and then you're going to stretch in the other direction. So left arm towards your right foot. Now, you can maybe even see this PVC pipe flexing a little bit. That's why I like the PVC pipe, because you can actually provide a little greater stretch if once you hit a good point, you actually pull on the PVC pipe a little bit to stretch a little bit more. Okay? So those are some great stretches for the spine to warm it up, especially if you're going to go through activity, but really something you can even do every day. Now, we can take the PVC pipe and we can do what's called a pass-through. What we do is we're just holding the PVC pipe out here and we just pass it, or rather we pass our body through it, why it's called a pass-through. But this really just opens up the shoulder joint. Can be a really nice exercise to open everything up. I want you to stand nice and tall when you do it. What I don't want to happen is I don't want you kind of moving with the PVC pipe. I kind of want the torso to stay vertical as you come through and back forwards. The next exercise is called a wraparound, which can be done in both directions. So we wrap the PVC pipe around, we turn it over, and we pull over. So this is definitely one of those exercises where if you do have a bad rotator cuff or some sort of issue in the shoulder, you may not be able to perform this exercise. But assuming that all of that's well, this is a wonderful way to actually loosen up the shoulders. So if you're going to do an activity like tennis or golf, opening up the shoulders would be wonderful beforehand, and this is one way you can do it. So as a recap, we've gone over our good mornings, our lateral bends, our rotation, And then our pass through. And the wraparound. Thank you for joining me today with the Healthy Issue Chiropractic Center to discuss again PVC stretches. Never hesitate to drop us an email or a phone call if you ever have questions about how to perform these exercises.